This is how NeroKnowledge manifested $146,000 a month. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Preston Chambers, and we help coaches and creators start and scale their own info products. So yeah, it follows the 3 T's of audience alignment, which is what I use for all my clients. It goes traffic, trust, then transaction. So let's go ahead with his biggest and his best platform, which is YouTube. And I have a king crown right there just because it is literally his best platform, making him the most amount of money. And he got over 1 million views last month. And that's YouTube long form views, which are so strong and so valuable. And essentially what he does is he just does weekly uploads, right? So he uploads around once a week, as you can see here, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 7 days, 1 day, etc., etc. And his YouTube description strategy is very simple. YouTube descriptions are the best way to kind of divert traffic. The community feature on YouTube is okay, but the descriptions are the best way, right? And he has 2 CTAs. So one to his coaching funnel, where he essentially pushes them to watch his VSL and whatnot. And we'll be breaking that one down soon. And also his blog, where he pretty much gets their email, provides tons and tons of value. And once again, we'll be covering that soon as well. Then is his content strategy. And here he uses simple thumbnails, as you can see, calm edit, just like quotes and pictures. He has no cuts at all. Literally, it's like one long take. And he has fire titles, right? And really what Nero does is he focuses on value first. And I mean, as you can see, it's very long videos, 1 hour right here, 45 minutes right here. And he's really successful for 2 main reasons. So number one, he's education based, right? So he is really teaching really good concepts about metaphysics, manifestation, etc., in very simple terms that are easy to understand. I know because I've watched a lot of his content. And he really activates the reciprocation as well as the authority, but also his personality. The reason why he's so successful the way he is, he's grown to over 200,000, almost 300,000 subscribers in only a couple months, is because he is completely different than everyone else in the spiritual space, I guess you could say, as a content creator. He's literally just a chill guy. He'll say the N-word. He'll talk about eating red meat. I mean, just look at him, bro. He literally wears shades. He's jacked, and he's wearing a wife beater while he's dropping game. Nobody in the manifestation or spirituality space, I guess you could say, is actually doing that. And he relates to his audience just by, cracking jokes, being himself. And this deeply resonates with the audience because he's not just like a weirdo. It's like, oh, you got to meditate for 20 hours a day and eat sun, right? So that's 2x likeness, right? Not 1x likeness, but it really makes people like him and relate to him. So overall, it just works because he's himself and he's completely different than everyone else in the space, which is what you need to be when you're doing content. You need to be authentic. You need to be yourself. So now Instagram is more top of funnel for him. Essentially what he does here is he just funnels people to YouTube to further nurture them, know, like, and trust. So let's go to his highlights, right? And his highlights there's just 4 main things. There's client results, library, YouTube, and my story. So the client results is essentially just social proof, right? It shows all the results that his clients are getting. And that's in his offer and his coaching funnel, which I'll be covering later with CTAs that DM him. Some of them are pretty old, like 45 weeks ago. And then he has his library, where essentially he shows all the books he's reading at that time, or I guess now it's has read, which makes him a big authority because that's a big selling point since he's read, around 400 books on manifestation and metaphysics. So authority. And then he also funnels people to his YouTube, just like posting about his YouTube videos, and further just nurtures the traffic. And then he tells a story, which is really fire copy. I'm not going to lie. It relates heavily to his audience. And at the end, he CTAs, which is more just authority, social proof, and likeness. So for Instagram Reels, it's simply just his repurposed YouTube content. There's no CTA. He's really just focused on getting people to follow him and getting people into his ecosystem here. And as far as DMs go, I think he stopped DMs and is going all in on YouTube, or maybe he saw my profile. I'm not too sure on that. And then for his stories, I'm not sure if he does DM CTAs or what. He typically just does one of 2 things, right? It's typically just nurture content like this, where he just drops some game, or he just links it to his YouTube and pushes people there. Really, I'm sure he gets amazing story views because he never really sells on there. And then we go to the IG post, which is more or less just social proof and authority building. So it's just showing him with his books and then showing him in cool places like a private jet, him traveling, etc. And the main thing that Nero is honestly missing is having clippers, right? Because he's already taking over YouTube. If he could have clippers on short form, paying them like $500 for 1 million views, he would get his face out there more. He could funnel everyone to his YouTube and definitely make more money. That's the only real thing I see missing with his Instagram. So next on the list is ads. He just started running ads literally by the time I'm recording this video, like 2 days ago. And they're just follower ads, right? It's just like an ad of his reel. So I'm not too sure if he's just trying to warm up his ad account or what he's doing, because before he had an ad taken down. But basically what he's kind of missing is he could just play around with running more ads targeted to entrepreneurs, like high level ones to help them with their mindset, really just pour gasoline on the fire. But maybe that's what he's doing by just trying to warm up his ad account. I'm not too sure there. And then his Twitter is simply just like Cardinal Masons. He just kind of does it for fun, maybe to get more people to know him on Twitter. But yeah, he just posts like game. He doesn't really CTA on here. And then on his TikTok, he gave up with his TikTok. Like one of the posts like 2 weeks ago, but after that it's months. So I'm not too sure if he's trying to now hit short form again or what. But once again, if he added more clippers on TikTok and Instagram, he could really take over the manifestation space completely. But that's really the only main thing I'm seeing. So overall with traffic, it's super, super solid. And right now what he's doing is just really focusing on the YouTube, which is going to make him the most amount of money because the leads are just going to be super, super hot. And yeah, by the way, if you're liking this video so far, feel free to hit that like button down below. And let's go into the trust section. So in the trust section, he has lots and lots of different funnels. I mean, there's like 5 right here. Some of them go pretty deep. So we're just going to go left to right, with the metaphysical money manual first. So his typical offer is helping entrepreneurs break their limiting beliefs and 2 to 5x the revenue. But here he has the metaphysical money manual, which is essentially anyone trying to manifest. Basically his B2C offer for the masses, and it's making him a good amount of money. I mean, as you can see right here, his course sales bring in, $40,000, and that was just in 1 month, and sure, it's going to scale. But let's go ahead and break down this page. And essentially right here, he has the copy, right? The metaphysical money manual, shift from stuck and scarcity to abundant money magnet without hard work in less than 1 hour. So that's actually kind of crazy. I can become abundant in less than 1 hour. And then this is definitely pretty informative. Step-by-step course exposing, that's hypnotic, the spiritual science of why the rich get richer and how you can join them. That's a really good frame right there, just because everyone knows that the rich gets richer. And then forbidden secrets, once again, that's pretty hypnotic. And then he has a VSL, which I'll go ahead and break that down right now. Also, just a side note here, if you try to click off the page, they have a pop-up that comes up, so that way you can claim the special offer, saving 250 pounds. But the VSL, I mean, as you can see from the copy, it's literally product aware. As you can see right here, it starts with the metaphysical money manual and literally says step-by-step course. So it's aimed at people that are aware of products and are aware of his products. And these people have probably tried something in the past. So that's why in his VSL, he has a unique selling mechanism like money is spiritual gain, because, people have probably tried these manifestation courses or handbooks or challenges or whatever. So he positions it as more hidden from the masses by the wealthy and powerful. And essentially, it's a pretty simple VSL. So he starts off by asking this question, right? What do you think would happen if all the money in the world was split equally? And it makes you kind of think. It makes you not want to click off because it kind of intrigues you. Well, what would happen if all the money was spread out equally? And then he basically just says, like, it would go to everyone because, the world's richest people know that money is a spiritual gain. And that's kind of the unique selling mechanism here. It's not the hard work. It's not how much work you do or like what system do you have in place. It's about your spiritual, about the psyche. And then he just uses some spiritual texts, Bible verses, etc., to kind of prove this point of everything is energy, money is energy. And then he digs into the problem. Like the way you see money right now is how 98% of the world sees it. And that's why they're all poor. Then he simply just goes into like breaking limiting beliefs, like poverty is abnormal. Instead, you need to be abundant. And then just use social proof. Once again, some examples, books, scriptures, etc. And he basically tries to shift their identity by you need to accept the elevation that whenever you're trying to succeed, society's going to bring you down, but you need to see that abundance is actually your birthright. Then just give some quick game about you need to focus on, instead of the outside, you need to focus on the inside, which is kind of related to his unique sun mechanism of the internal bank account. Objection handles, like basically it's your self-worth, your internal, that's why you're failing. And then he closes like all you have to do now is just water the internal, right? Because that's like a seed. And then he mentions his product at the end, like now if you're ready to actually stop losing in the money game, just buy my course. Right? Pretty simple VSL for a product, kind of warm audience. And then he follows the sales page with a ton of social proof, right? Now, is this real? We don't know, right? These could easily be faked, but I mean, he has specific dates, specific things, so it seems legit, right? Whether or not, we don't really know. Goes over the benefits, right? We'll go in green. It's the best way to attract money. Money is neither your devil or your God. Shouldn't be either. And then he just kind of breaks down the benefits of kind of what you're going to get inside. Calls out some common pain points. You tried working harder, saving more, reading finance books, but you always end up with the same amount in your account, right? Calling out common pain points to people. Then he future paces. Well, this is the right way, the new way to attract money, right? Imagine. All future pacing here. And that has one purpose, to turn your dreams into reality. This is the right way. Has social proof right here because he's saying this is the most popular, which This cooks for a restaurant put like something like this on their menu for one specific item and it increased the sales by 20%. Simply then goes over who this is for, right? You need the money manual if you've been learning about the law of attraction, but you feel you're stuck, you've experienced poverty or scarcity in childhood, etc., then it's not your fault, right? So kind of the one sentence persuasion explaining why they're failing. And it's not your fault. It's not because you're dumb. It's not because of this. It's the fourth main things that are keeping you in poverty: your beliefs, your social contracts, your vibration, your lack of information, right? And now your time has arrived. Who is this guy? Then kind of goes over who Nero is. He grew up in poverty. He's been in the game for 7 years, nearly $300. He manifested 2 6-figure businesses, etc. Then gives a special price. Save 80%, launch offer. You know what I mean? And then they claim the offer. There's a quick little value stack right here. Save 80%, only 158 pounds, which is a specific number. I kind of like that. And then maybe he does a one-time offer. I'm not too sure of what he's actually doing after they buy. And like I said, this course is cooking for me. He's made 40K alone in a single month. He's probably made way more at this course just because he gets 1 million YouTube views. And it overall is definitely making him a good amount of money. So now the blog, and this is good copy. I mean, it just talks about him, right? Enter your desired reality without the new age corny stuff, right? That's literally his unique selling mechanism. That is literally his unique selling mechanism. He's so much different than any guy in the space, right? And then he has like a specific number here. Essentially, he's using this to grab emails to email to the list, which we'll cover later. But he also has, tons and tons of blogs like this, which is just long form copy of him, giving game to people, right? Actually putting people on game. And then at the end, he'll CTA, it's like the metaphysical money manual, which we just covered, or his coaching funnel, which we'll be breaking down soon. And the blog does a couple different things. Like I said, it grabs emails, and I love emails, right? They're a great way to actually be able to sell to your audience, and they're usually untapped. Like I said, like with one of my clients, we made 44,000 with just like a couple emails. The list was only 800 people, but also providing the value here too. If you make your free stuff better than people's paid, people are going to think, if his free stuff is this good, imagine what his paid's like. And then his funnels. So on top of this, he pushes people to his funnels and diverts more traffic, and the blog is solid. So now let's go to the real moneymaker here, which is his coaching funnel. This is his main offer of what he's trying to sell to, which is high-level entrepreneurs. So right away, he calls out his ICP, entrepreneurs making 50K or more. Get your mindset right in business. And then the subheadline, right? Implement the same methods high performers use to achieve clarity. So I'm going to go ahead and break down the VSL. Something I found though is if you try to like click this button before you actually watch like the VSL, you actually have to watch the VSL to apply. This kind of made it longer for me to break down the funnel. Nonetheless, though, it's fine. So let's go over the second VSL and all of his funnels. And the market awareness level is problem/solution aware. I mean, as you can see how he does the descriptions right here. Who's stuck at a revenue ceiling, right? Stuck, that indicates a problem. You can 2 to 5x your revenue. So it's kind of problem, kind of solution aware. And yeah, these are the main problems. They're stuck at a revenue, they're burnt out, and they're feeling imposter syndrome, as you can kind of see down here. And the sophistication level is level 3, right? He distances from like known solutions because these people have probably tried stuff in the past, right? Maybe they've tried the law of attraction. So instead, he talks about the 3 planes of existence, and that's kind of his unique way to sell it. And he positions it as secret knowledge, right? And this is kind of the format. I'll go over it pretty quickly, not to bore you with copy. I just love copy. But he starts out with a hook, right? And he essentially just grabs them in and shows some insane social proof, like $10.8 million in 4 weeks, 470K in a single month, which is pretty insane. I mean, who wouldn't want to make $10 million in 4 weeks or 470K extra in a single month, right? I mean, who wouldn't? Then he builds his authority, basically talks about how he's hired by elite achieving entrepreneurs. He's read over $350, 8 years on this journey. And he identifies the problem. You're experiencing mental overwhelm. You're stuck in the same cycles that you can't seem to get out of. Well, it's not to do with the law of attraction. This is actually the knowledge from the secret societies, and they've been gatekeeping it from you. Then he has the urgency of, basically he frames in a different way, right? He frames it that frequencies are actually super addictive, and that's why you're stuck, and you need to get out now. And then he kind of relates it with, like, think of that one friend who always is the same. Then he presents the case studies again, like Tony going from 2 mil to 10.8 million. And then he shows his mechanism, right? And he kind of relates it in a way like, have you ever seen a fly that tries to get outside by passing through a window? Well, this is you, right? You need to do a 180 degree and actually go outside instead of just being stuck on this window. Then he CTAs, click the button, let's hop on a call to join this exclusive group. It's the secret society. It kind of makes you feel welcome, almost like unity. And then he ends with the testimonial of Tony just talking about his experience. Overall, it's a super solid DSL, right? I mean, I like it. And there's lots of edits, keeping it engaging. And then he has social proof, right? Which is like Tony and then someone else. And then he calls out the common pain points, right? You're stuck at this revenue ceiling. You're working harder than ever, but you barely move the needle. You feel like an imposter. Each month's like starting from zero. You have constant pressure. You're not alone, right? And it's not your fault. Why you're failing, it's not because you're working harder, hiring more people, or even changing the entire business model. This will not help you. Instead, your problem isn't that you're not doing enough. It's that you're trying to outrun the internal, right? Like I said, is unique selling mechanism is all about the internal. And basically, it's not about the effort. It's about the alignment, right? This is the big epiphany he's trying to get them to see. It's not about the external, what you do. It's all about inside. Then he goes to his USP, right? It's your frequency. And then he uses stuff like this to kind of align with his USP, right? Different stuff's about frequencies and whatnot. And it's all about your frequency. Right now, your success, he kind of relates it with a metaphor. It's like holding a beach ball underwater. Whatever, it's because your current frequency, you need to change your frequency. Calls out common pain points. Working hard doesn't help. New strategies fall flat. Success feels unstable. Imposter syndrome won't go away. You need to change your internal frequency. It's not your fault, right? It's because figuring out your mindset is more addicting than crack cocaine, and you're kind of stuck just like that one friend. Then he goes over the benefits. Get more done in 4 hours than you do in a full week. I mean, that sounds fire. Who wouldn't want to do that? Touch more lives without working more hours. Feel worthy of success. Experience personal growth. Truly love your work again. Then what you actually get, right? One-on-one support, unlimited direct access, lifetime access, and then you get a bonus. I think this is a glitch right here. I'm not too sure what's happening here, but yeah. And then who is Nero, right? 8 years, once again, $400, 150 plus businesses. Kind of talks more about him. Summary of what you get, and then an FAQ, right? Just frequently asked questions. And then whenever you apply to join, it's all a type one with logic. So something interesting I noted here was that he's not grabbing a phone number. So I'm not too sure like what's going on there. But yeah, and then it goes into two separate things. So this is where the logic kind of plays in. Are you self-employed? If no, he sends you to the money manual. If yes, because this is for entrepreneurs, it goes on, right? What business do you do? Right? Just kind of describes the business. What's your monthly revenue, that ceiling that you've been stuck at? Right? And there might be glitches in his funnel. I mean, this person was in 100K, and then he said, it might be a glitch. But if you pick A, right, you're under 15K, then it says thanks for applying and sends you down to his course funnel, which we'll be breaking down shortly. But if you're B through H, right, any one of these, what it should do is send you to, well, what's your goal, right? Because you need to know where they are and then their goal, which also kind of is frictionless with the framing of the finances. And then why are you stuck, right? Because you just kind of want to understand how he can actually help, why you think Nero's guidance can help you get closer. And then this is pretty frictionful. Work here with Nero is not free and requires a 4-figure investment. Do you have the money? If you pick no, I do not, send you to the course. And if you pick A, then you can book a call with Nero, where he then grabs the phone number, grabs your email, test, name, just to do the pre-call workflows, which we'll be breaking down in the transaction section. And then there's a glitch again. Once you book the call, it has this pop up. So yeah, that's kind of a glitch, but then it's just a simple pre-call video that frames the call, kind of tells them what to expect. Show up to the call early, bring a pen and paper, be in a quiet place. Don't be at work. Don't be on your phone. Don't be in a noisy environment. Be in a quiet environment where you can actually focus. And then check out some social proof, right? Just tons and tons of social proof here. And then once again, just sets the frame. So pretty simple. Like I said, we'll break down the pre-call workflows in the transaction section. But let's go to this course funnel, right? So this is for people that didn't qualify for the one-to-one mentorship, and it's entrepreneurs stuck at a revenue ceiling. That's the ICP. It's just people pretty much under 50K. And these people are going to be product aware because they literally just applied for his one-on-one mentorship. That's why like this headline is so focused on that. And it's the proven knowledge, awakened entrepreneur, which is his unique selling mechanism. And then break through your 2 to 5x your revenue in 9 weeks without touching your business, using the same methods. And here's the DSL. So essentially, he kind of starts off by, well, you didn't qualify, but you can get it for way, way cheaper and get everything you actually need without spending thousands. And then he kind of transitions, if he's maybe sending them from the email list. If you forget why you're here, then goes through a very similar VSL to the first one. I didn't really see a point to actually break that one down because it's very, very similar. And then the page itself is actually very, very similar as well, right? There's social proof. It future paces once again over the past 3 years, 1,600 entrepreneurs, more social proof, exactly what will happen in like phases almost. And then who is Nero, right? Once again, $400, 8 years, 150 businesses. And then, he manifested his YouTube subscribers, a summary of what you're going to get, an FAQ, and then once again, a summary. And I'm curious to see if he does a one-time upsell after you buy, maybe he, has you hop on a one-on-one call with him after you just paid him a rack. I'm not too sure what he's doing there, but yeah, it's very, very similar to his coaching funnel. It's just kind of like a downsell if they can't afford the one-on-one mentorship. Next up is his email list, where he just sends emails just selling pretty much, and he does different selling, right? He'll sell the Awakened Entrepreneur 2.0 like the course. He'll sell, right there, as you can see, the course. He'll sell his masterclass, his money manual. And like I said, I love these emails because you can just send out a couple words and make some money if you know how to write that hypnotic, high converting copy and make people buy. So he just pushes it to various products. Like I said, his metaphysical manual, his coaching program, his course, and even his new product that he's pushing right now, which is his masterclass. So we'll go ahead and break that down. So instead of a VSL, it seems like it's actually just like a long form copy. So his headline is "Win the Game of Discover How Society's Biggest Achievers Find Success with Just Their Minds. Win the game of reality. Step into your dream life by mastering the hidden art of manifestation." 900 plus successful students. So this is definitely for like maybe a problem aware or a solution aware audience. This is definitely like lower on the awareness scale because he's not calling out his product. And yeah, then simply he just future paces. What if you had this, you had 100% confident, clear, like he's basically future pacing, like what if this, what if that, what's actually possible, right? Right now you're struggling to manifest, affirm, and visualize, but they haven't cooked for you yet. And here's why, I read over 400 books, I've taught over 900 students, and I manifested my own dream life. And I want to give you that aha moment, that epiphany, so that way you can do these things that you want to do, right? These common desires. And what I'm about to teach you is a way to hack reality, right? It's a super easy, simple thing that you can do just to hack reality. And it's powerful, but it will require you to learn. Then he kind of shows social proof, 400 to 200K subs in 60 days, or 4,000, multiple six figures manifested, tons and tons of social proof, and then why you're failing, right? It has nothing to do with this, this, and this. In fact, the discovery is why people pay me 25K plus, which is kind of price anchoring for his masterclass. And essentially he pitches it as, well, the thing you need is this pre-recorded masterclass, right? For 250 pounds. More social proof, what you actually get inside, basically all these things that are going to help you, and kind of breaks down, and then who this is for, who this is not for, who am I, right? And then an FAQ. He just does copy here. I'm not going to, this video would be forever if I broke down every single word of copy. But once again, right, the 8 years, 400 bucks, 150 businesses, pretty similar to all of his other funnels. And then he simply just value stacks, you buy it. And I'm curious to see if he has a one-time offer or not. I'm guessing why he's selling this is because his money manual sold so well that he just wants to maximize the cash flow that he could be making from that as well, right? Overall, it's a solid trust section, maybe just fixing up the little mishaps that we saw. Overall, it's solid. One thing that he could add is potentially, adding like a monthly recurring option for the B2C. Because this course sold pretty well. That's why he's selling a second one. So maybe if he sold something recurring, you could get some good recurring revenue coming in. But nonetheless, it's pretty good. Before we go into the transaction section, feel free right now, go ahead and comment below what your favorite funnel was and why. Was it like the metaphysical money manual, the blog, the coaching funnel, email list, or the masterclass, right? So the first thing I always do in the transaction section is do the Reddit test, right? And there's a couple people kind of hating on him. He's a scam course, even though they haven't even checked out his stuff. That's just Reddit for you though. So maybe sending some clients here. I'm not too sure. But then there's some people that are defending him, right? And then people love him, right? Just people love him. So overall, it's solid Reddit test, right? There's nothing really crazy. Maybe sending some people here just because it's freaking Reddit, and Reddit's full of course haters. But I have no idea what his prices are, right? He says he does 25K, but then it says 4-figure investment. It could be like 6K plus. Once again, I have no idea what his actual prices could be. But like I said, we go over the pre-call process. He's just going to try to get them to show up warm and actually believe in his mechanism, right? And Nero's actually taking the calls himself. It's really simple, right? It's a Google Calendar invite, 24-hour reminder, case studies, right? Objection handling assets, maybe more case studies, and then sending them the invite to join. And that's pretty much how he cash collects $146,000 a month. Now, are they on top of the numbers? Potentially with a sales tracker sheet, just making sure that they know their close rate and stuff. I don't know, because there's a few faults in the funnel, and then he doesn't have like the UTM links or the L links or whatever actually tracking it. So I doubt he has a dashboard. I doubt he knows how much money he makes from every single YouTube video, which would be something that's good to know. but he's not on top of that, right? Nonetheless, it's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the world. He can easily fix that. But that's just kind of some stuff I noticed. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like down below. And if you are a creator, coach, or consultant looking to start or scale your own info products, I have a surprise for you. First link in the description. Feel free to check that out. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.